Hey everybody, Travelin' Trav here. I am a symbolic language primate, a little word monkey. Can we normalize atheism? Why should someone's character be judged on if they believe in a magic sky wizard? How someone treats other human beings is way more important than their belief or lack of belief in a god. Can't disagree with you there. I'm also interested in what you mean by normalizing atheism. Okay, let's talk this. First of all, I will qualify my statements by saying that I became a committed atheist/nihilist after a great Christian disappointment. I was also practicing non-theist Vipassana meditation along the way too. I'm an all-in kind of person, so my atheism was all in, just like I was all in for fundamentalist Christianity for a number of years, starting at 22 years old. As an atheist, I was like a little Richard Dawkins. Tutti frutti, oh Rudy, down with the religions. Richard Dawkins, for me, now represents the condescending atheist, the intellectual who apparently believes that it is his mission to educate the world out of its religious delusions. I was all in for atheism, anti-theism. I was anti-theist. I wanted to crucify the magic sky wizard, I did, and I do believe that Nietzsche was correct still when he proclaimed that God is dead. Ding dong, the magic sky wizard is dead. That God had to die. It is the natural course of any magic sky wizard to die. They have a shelf life. And also, I found that atheism has rational limitations. In other words, I found that evangelical Dawkinesque atheism requires faith, a faith that material is all there is, which is confounded even in our inability to touch dark matter and the deconstruction of time and distance in our discovery of relativity and quantum entanglement. And also, biologically speaking, I'm a symbolic language monkey who is hopelessly addicted to stories. We all tell stories. Please visit ko-fi.com/transrationalblues for this free Rucker Brothers music download. Yes, it's a free download. I'm trying to gain audience and support. If, over time, you feel that my work is worthy of support, I welcome that. Thank you. Travelin' Travs, Travelin' String Camp, sharing and teaching music in your community. Together, we are discovering our common work, our common stories, and our common love. Travelin' Travs, Travelin' String Camp, sharing and teaching music in your community. Strengthening a tribe member deepens a tribe. Depth tribes feed the world. Travelin' Travs, Travelin' String Camp.
There is hope in each heart for every bit of hurting. The wheel keeps on turning, we just ride it around. And just when we think that there's no rhyme or reason, there comes another season and we find the shade in May.
And at the core of religion, we find stories that build metaphysical constructs, and we function off those metaphysical constructs whether we know it or not. Stories are not separate from nature, or at least our primate brains cannot yet distinguish our stories from the true nature of reality. We are all still telling and retelling our parables. The mythological primate that we call Jesus knew this, and that's why he spoke to us in cryptic stories that we call parables. The advanced beings speak in code that we cannot immediately grasp with our rational minds. Come on, Travelin' Travs, Trans-Rational Blues. We are all telling stories, and science is also not immune from our storytelling tendencies. The scientific method is really cool because it allows us to make inquiries, tell stories, and then change our stories as is appropriate. Religions do not innately have this built in. When we, humanity, started recording our stories, we just knew that the stories worked. And by worked, I mean that they provided us with a communal framework to rally around in our survival, players versus environment scenarios. Common stories help us work toward common goals. They helped us to survive as groups. They helped us to hunt. They helped us to gather. They helped us to make the migratory journey into all the promised lands that we had to endure as a species. So, if you are interested in normalizing atheism, I'm curious about what you mean. Do you believe that you have transcended storytelling? Do you believe that you are free from all the generational learning and experience that is written into our DNA as storytelling primates? What exactly are you free from as an atheist, to which the religious folks are still bound? It's a real question. Like, what have we become free from? These are the things I'm really curious about. I once was like this, now I'm like this. And it's these stories, even the story of atheism, right? Which in some instances symbolizes freedom.
Well, thank you, God, for cruise control, because it lifts my spirit and soothes my soul while I'm riding up through the panhandle of Texas. And there's cars and trucks and mobile homes, and the semi-tractors set the tone while I'm sucking on sunflower seeds and a Mountain Dew.
Freedom from the terrible destruction and hurt and disrespect that the nature-crushing rituals, the witch drowning, empire Christianity, all of the, yeah, absolutely. Do we have to get free from that shit? Yes!
The day's going down to the west up ahead, and the clouds are pink, and the sun is red, and one of those semi-trailers just passed me going 85.
What I hope you can hear in my response today is a respectful approach to understanding our own human consciousness, what we might call the sacred nature of our being. Many of us still seem to feel that our life here can be experienced as sacred, and in fact, I find that I must revere my own life and yours. I consider my inquiries into atheism and nihilism to be part of my spiritual journey. They are not necessarily something that I recovered from in the Great Integration. Strangely enough, as I discovered my own judgmental nature in atheism, I rediscovered grace. In other words, I rediscovered my own religious fundamentalism in atheism. And atheism is where I ran to escape the judgment of the magic sky wizard. My own atheist inquiries are where I discovered that heart of what is wrong with religion in myself. I was so angry at all the judgmental, closed-minded religious folks, and there are so many good reasons to be angry at all that bullshit. The terrible things that we justify because we say that the magic sky wizard said so are worth tearing down. And here's where it got real for me. Until I discovered my own self-hate, I could not tear down the judgment that I discovered in religion. I'm interested in what you mean by normalizing atheism. It's certainly normalized to me. Atheism is a reaction to theism. It is a bipolar reaction to the violent and angry sky wizard, and that is very understandable and necessary. Unless by normalizing you are saying that atheism deserves to be its own religion, and I can't imagine that is what you are pushing for. And when I say bipolar, I mean this world, this binary world, this world of offs and ons, elicits responses from us, elicits goods and bads and yeses and nos, and there is something we get to say no to in all of what we're trying to deconstruct here, yes? Atheism is a very normal response, and one that I understand well. We are all here together, trying to live in a world that appears to many of us sensitive, compassionate, gentle, caring, hopeful hearts to have gone absolutely mad.
They say, open up your Bible and give your life to God. But church on Sunday mornings, you know it feels a little odd. The words that the preacher man's saying, they never make it to my heart. The words they say never make it to my heart.
I believe that together we may be able to discover our common work, common stories, and our common love. And hopefully, if there is anything good left in our sacred texts, and I believe there is, we can discover this again together, or reclaim it. It does seem necessary to dethrone the false gods of religion wherever we find them. I believe this is the path where humanity becomes a more authentic expression of love. Peace to you, friend. Deepest power to you in your journey of depth discovery.